Welcome in. It is the ATB show. Go to atbshow.com at the buzzer, and you can grab all the important links. We are brought to you by our dear friends at AAA Work Trucks, Rubber Shoes, at one of his 98 professional commitments. He's at the firehouse, and we're going to have a conversation about the fact that you guys should have Nesson, and you do have Nesson. I'm angry about how you're getting Nesson. Maybe we'll get to it. I don't think we'll have time. Maybe it'll just be a letter to the editor later. I don't know. But Rubber Shoes, AAA Work Trucks, you're not there today, but talk about our dear friends.
Yeah, it's brought to you by AAA Work Trucks, your one-stop shop for all your work truck needs. If it goes in or on a vehicle, it's a good bet. AAA can take care of it for you. Give them a call at 866-783-6222 or check them out online at aaaworktrucks.com.
So we're going to jump right in. I'm going to make my early prediction. We are infamous for having things happen as soon as the show's over. We'll wrap around 6. His number is 8. So I'm going to say it's 6:08. The Patriots announced that they've signed Lamar Jackson. But until then, we're going to complain about everything we haven't done. Like, not keeping Jacoby Myers and then going and spending the same exact money for somebody I don't dislike. And at the same time, it's sort of the devil you know and the devil you don't know. I'm not sure it made any sense to actually, one of the guys here at the office, why not keep Jacoby for that money and then still go get Juju? That could have happened. I feel like we have a lot of money and we're just not Spendosaurus Rex yet. So there's no cliff in my office, but if there were one, get me to not jump off of it, Scotty. Rubber Shoes, please. I feel like we're the worst Mount Rushmore in the world right now. Like Scotty's, like I'm here. Right, Rubber Shoes, everybody fix your chair. Go ahead. I'll lean back. I'm going to get down with Scotty. Rubber Shoes might have to leave to grab a cat out of a tree. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, by the way, full disclosure, I'm doing like this fasting thing with the wife this week. So if I don't make any sense, I'm starving. So
so you're doing intermittent fasting, or does this have to do with Lent?
It's called Prolon. I think it's a fasting mimicking program. I'm reading from the one thing that I get to eat all day, which is like this little situation here. It's like a little bar. Other than that, I get some soups, but it's like between like today I get like 750 calories or something like that. So it's a 5-day thing. I'm almost through it, but I'm never doing it again.
It might be the lack of nutrition. It might be the fasting. It might be the draft or the lack.
It might be the fact I haven't had a friggin' cocktail in a couple of days too. I can't have one here. But as for the Pats, forever the optimist. I feel like usually on this show, probably more so than most, and probably got the blinders on 90% of the time. But yeah, super frustrated with what they have not done in regards. I mean, the wide receiver pool is. Let's just be honest, it's not great. This is a horrible free agency wide receiver pool. If they're going to make a big splash at wide receiver, it's going to be through trade, right? And I know that the Athletic, Jeff Howe, reported that the Pats have called Arizona multiple times trying to figure out a way to get DeAndre Hopkins. They've also called Denver to get Jerry Jeudy as well and looking at potentially a trade. I think if you're going to get a splash from wide receiver, it's going to be there. I will say from a positive perspective, I kind of like their offensive lining signings. Like that's been offensive line signings. They've been fine with that. Nothing blowing the hair back though. Even the Juju Smith-Schuster. I mean, okay. Yeah. I mean, the fact that what the Dolphins and, the Jets, who are apparently getting Rodgers, I guess that's a fact. It's now over.
It's the worst kept secret that's not a secret that everybody just and it's so boring. It's so Brett Favre. Like the next thing Aaron Rodgers has to do based on the chronological roadmap of this is he's going to send an appendage picture to somebody in the front office who's not his wife. And I know he's not married, but if you don't know that Brett Favre did that, now you do. Google it. It's a great story.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's just I mean, it just looking at the rest of the divisions got way better, right? I mean, they gave up a bag of balls for Jalen Ramsey, and it's just like, come on, like really, we have to play him now twice a year and stuff. I like the Jonathan Jones; they brought him back. I'm happy about that, but I mean, imagine if they brought him back and they traded what they traded for Jones. You know what I mean? If they could have, or for Ramsey, I mean, for what they could have gotten is like maybe Jonnu Smith and like a 6th round or 5th round pick. to get Jalen Ramsey, because that's basically what the Dolphins did. I don't know. So it's definitely a frustrating thing. I'm not really not really helping you off the cliff there, but sorry, but more like probably pushing you a little bit. But yeah, it's just not been a great start.
Where's your head rubber shoes?
Yeah, I think as we currently speak right now, Patriots are the 4th team in the AFC East, and not looking like they're trying to get out of the cellar.
In front of who
right
though?
now?
Who are we in front of at 4?
Nobody.
Oh, sorry,
We're
there are
4
4. I'm thinking old school. Sorry, 5. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The Colts don't play in our division anymore.
Oh my God. Good night, everybody. Tip your waiters and waitresses.
Lamar Jackson is so whatever anyone offers Lamar Jackson, Baltimore can
match.
So it's everyone can throw their money to him, but if Baltimore decides to match it, he stays in Baltimore.
A horror show. Like, shouldn't they
tweeted out that he turned down 3 years, 133 guaranteed.
Yep. Yeah, and he said he made the joke because he doesn't have an agent. He's representing himself.
It's him, right?
And that was like the big thing is like, that a buddy of mine asked me too. He's like, if would you be upset if the Pats went and got Lamar Jackson, even though they have Mac Jones and whatever? And I'm like, there's very few players. Like, I believe in Mac. I want Mac to be the quarterback and all that, but there's very few players out there that I would be completely fine. Lamar's top of that list. Like, he is an absolute stud, and that would blow the doors off of things and completely change things around. But, I still, the offseason's 3 seconds old, so we still have, like, there's still talent out there. There's still some moves to be made. They still have a lot of money to spend. So I'm going to go back to Bill We Trust. But, yeah, right now, if you're grading the offseason moves, the 3 teams above us, so 3 teams in the division, I should say, have definitely gotten either better or remained better than we are, like Buffalo. You know what I mean? They re-signed Jordan Poyer today, I believe. Because they haven't really made a ton of moves either, but they brought back Poyer, and they're already really good. So
I'm glad you said the IBWT. I still subscribe to that. I'm annoyed with Patriot Place right now, and I still am an in Bill We Trust kind of guy. He has to, I guess he has to light the whole thing on fire. And some people were like, "Well, he's grabbing the matches. Stupid. Are you paying attention?" I don't think he is. And I'm not like, "Oh no, he's smarter than us. He's gonna get the last laugh." Like, no, I'm annoyed. I don't know that they're all in this. The problem is, it's a bunch of smart people that I don't think are necessarily communicating really well right now. That's probably the worst part of everything. And questions like, unless he left today, and I know I show up at 5:00 on Wednesdays and I haven't read a thing. Welcome to the show. Is Joe Judge still on the staff? He was like, they sent him to the combine. Right?
I think Judge is on the staff. I think Patricia's got a foot out the door, though.
No, yeah, 1,000%. But like, Joe Judge shouldn't be here anymore. There's no value. I don't think there's any value. Like, we did him a favor, and we had him not get paid so he could get paid by the Giants, and he was here. But like, he's somebody who does not get along with Mac, if Mac's the answer. The fact that he's in the room tells me that Mac's not. And you have Bill O'Brien in the building now. I just don't know what they're doing in that regard. Like, there's no clarity at the top. If I was there as a player right now, and welcome Juju, I'd be like, what are we doing? Like, what is happening? A whole bunch of people that didn't really work out. You had a chance to just exit them. And not even fire them. Just like, we did what we did. Well, it made sense financially for the team. It didn't work out, unless somebody has tape that I haven't seen yet. So what are we doing having Joe Judge just hang? I'm annoyed by his presence at this point.
So that's what I want to ask is the in Bill We Trust thing, like, you can reset it every year? Like, last year, obviously, you couldn't trust him because he had that goon as the offensive coordinator. So now this year you can trust him?
I trusted him last year. I haven't stepped away from that statement. I can trust somebody and be annoyed by their existence at the same time.
He proved that you couldn't trust him last year.
No, I don't say
no.
You might not have, but I think people have. I mean, I still trust him.
The argument last year for me was he's getting service out of 2 people that we're not paying for, who have been in his ecosystem. And
totally couldn't do the job.
Yeah, like he tried to retread some tires that shouldn't have been retread or placed on the vehicle where they were placed. I completely appreciate that. I haven't lost my trust in Bill. And I absolutely need it doesn't need to be a splash. I don't think anybody here, I mean, Scotty's probably hoping because he's delirious because he's hungry. I don't think anybody here thinks that we're actually going to get Lamar Jackson tonight or tomorrow or Friday. That would be amazing. And he's not even a splashy get. He's strong. He would command leadership and he would attract people because the Patriot way and I want to go play for Bill was never really a thing. And I still trust him when I say the statement. People wanted to come play with Tommy. Guys aren't clawing at the gates to get in to hang out with Bill. They wanted to be here with Tommy. But is there a proven method and madness with Bill? I think there is. And I say that even knowing that people are like, well, since Tommy's left, all the shine seems to have worn off. So did Tommy hide the warts? Super did. He super did. He covered up a lot of inconsistencies with the team, and he made people want to be here. He made people take lesser deals because he was taking lesser deals. So I don't think that you're gonna have to get Lamar to come in, and we have a ton of money to spend. But if he turned down 3 years, 133 already, I don't know what they'd be willing to spend to bring him in, unless they could also say we have OBJ on the phone, and if you sign, he'll sign. I also don't want to make it a circus tent full of clowns.
So he's looking for what Watson got with the Browns, which was 5 years and like 200 something million guaranteed.
250.
Yeah. And so, this one little thing I did hear today is that I guess Lamar Jackson and Juju Smith-Schuster are buddies. So you can take that with a grain of salt.
I will take it with a brick of salt. That would be amazing. Amazing.
The one thing I will say too about as frustrating it is to watch teams make moves and stuff or free agency. This free agent class is not great. It's not great, no. Right? There's it's not full of A-listers. It's just not. And the biggest moves that you have seen are trades, like Darren Waller being traded to the Giants. I mean, I'm sorry if you're a Raiders fan, you're in a much worse place than you because what the hell's happening down there? But anyway, you have Josh McDaniels. That's what's happening. There we go. Nah, I figured that one.
That's a curious. It's a curious one for sure. That's a curious one. He's a good.
They just
kid.
signed him to a monster contract. McDaniels came out publicly and said that he's going to be a huge part of what they're going to do moving forward. And then he marries his wife, who plays, by the way, for the Las Vegas. I'm blanking on the WNBA team, but the Las Vegas WNBA team. They just got married.
Where's Adam when you need him?
Yes.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
He would have helped me out there. But yeah, it's just that's a mess. But it's not a great free agent class. So trades are really where I think it's going to end up happening. And the splash they think that would make all Pats fans kind of really buy back in is like a D-Hop, right? Or I mean, Jerry Jeudy's all right. Like, I don't know if he's not going to make that kind of a splash outside of like Hopkins, especially this type of fan base, right?
Well,
that's what we're looking for.
I'm hoping now that they shipped Smith out that they draft Mike Mayer from Notre Dame, tight end, stud.
I wish I could concur. I don't, but go ahead. Finish your thought. No, I mean, like they
have a lot of draft
tight
picks,
ends. They print tight ends. I will give you that. Yes. Yeah, 1,000%.
They're gonna have to make a splash in the draft because, like Scotty said, there is no real the biggest name free agent was probably Schuster and Odell Beckham. Those are the biggest names that people will know. Like when you say, "Oh, we signed
wide receiver,
Odell Beckham Jr."
Yep.
A lot of people will be like, "Oh, right," not knowing that he hasn't played since he blew his knee out.
1968. Yep. You know what? Since we're playing this game, I'll see you and I'll raise you, rubber shoes. I would love. It won't happen because BC kids always go to the NFC. I would love, and I know you know what I'm about to say because he's a stud. He's put on like 10 pounds of muscle. I would love Zay Flowers. I don't know where he's going to land. I don't know what prospective drafts people are doing. Zay Flowers, phenomenal, and he will end up. I'm going to come up with a really annoying team.
Packers
or maybe they'll
again.
super annoy me and they'll
They all
make
seem
him
to go to the Packers.
no. Well, yeah, it's like that. Giants, Vikings, something horrible and nondescript like the Bears. I don't know, but I would love to see Zay Flowers come here. We do not bring in BC kids, and I'm not saying we should because we're busy trying to figure out the sport ourselves there at Chestnut Hill University. And he's a wildly talented kid, and I think they could get him later. I think he goes first round. I'm not going to lie. I think he goes first round. I just don't know where he goes. And I don't think we spend the pick on him wherever we end up. Because that would be also, what is our pick in the first round?
14.
14, yep. I think would be too high for him.
I completely agree with you. What's going to be even more annoying because we need to use that pick is he'll trade out of it.
Probably.
I know I've said a lot of things that fly in the face of In Bill I Trust, but In Bill I Trust, and he'll trade out of 14.
I don't know. There's going to be some talent on the board there. I don't know. We'll see.
He'll trade out.
The thing is, I think right now, if you look at the offensive line moves in particular, like it's more depth, which I think we all said more than once last year. That is something that they woefully needed was depth. They needed to have depth, and they didn't have it at any of the positions, whether it was tackle or guard or whatever. And so, there's some decent offensive line prospects that could fall to that area. But,
it'd be nice to get a stud left tackle.
That would be nice. That would be very nice. Not one that's like Orlando Brown's age either, who's still out there and available because he's 1,000 years old. We don't need to do that again. We already we did that with Trent Brown. But yeah, again, back to the free agent stuff. It's not a great class. I think Bill's kind of weighing his options, and I think he's going to try to I do think he's going to try and swing a trade. That's what I think he's going to try and do to make a splash to upgrade, but. I wouldn't get hung up on Joe Judge. I don't think you're going to see him very much, this upcoming year. I'll be honest with you. But we'll see.
So I just jumped on, which has no bearing, I know, but I'm going to tell you where I am. NFLDraftBuzz.com, and prospect ranked at wide receiver. They have Zay at 5 at the position.
Okay.
Quentin Johnson from TCU, Jackson Smith, Ohio State, Jordan Addison, USC, Jalen Hyatt, Tennessee, Zay Flowers, BC. A girl can dream. There, I put it out in the universe. We'll see what happens. Would be amazeballs. Amazeballs. He's 5'9". I mean, he's not.
Well, he's your next Welker Edelman clone slot guy. You know what I mean? That's what you're looking at that point. But.
Well, him. Well, this is why my biggest fear is he ends up in Miami and he's on the other side of.
Right.
Tyreek. Right.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah, I think that. I do. There are some wide receivers that might be available around that time too. I wouldn't be surprised, but they now have Smith-Schuster, Parker, Ty Thornton, right?
And who's that guy that they never played who's pretty good? Kendrick. That's right.
Yeah.
What if we dusted off Kendrick Bourne?
Right.
Huh.
Yeah, he got into Patricia's doghouse early. I don't think Billy's going to be like that. You know what I mean? Like O'Brien's going to be like, no, let's go, kid. You can do a lot of shit. Let's go.
Well, yeah, and you brought up earlier them making a play for B-Hop. Is that total bullshittery and scuttlebutt that they don't get along, that Billy O'Brien and B-Hop don't get along? Was that a real beef in Houston, or what's the deal there?
I mean, he shipped them out of Houston.
He did.
O'Brien was the...
He traded him.
General manager, president, whatever, the person that was dealt with all the moves with the players. He was the guy in control. He sent them out because he didn't like his character, I guess, is what it was.
So
back
then he's probably not going to revisit us.
Because he had
now.
I think he's got 10 baby mamas or something like that.
Oh, well, he's active in his community. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. Nothing. Nobody.
No.
All right.
I'm not. Nope.
Nope.
I'm not going to touch that one. He should not have touched things. But anyway. Off season just started. We got a long way to go. Let's jump on to the NCAA tournament. Where Timmy, why have you not filled out your bracket yet?
Because you know what? You know how I get when it comes to college basketball. I waste the week the brackets come out. I spend Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday triple checking that somehow I've got the right one in front of me. Yeah, because I'm still looking for BC. Did they end up in the South? Like, where are they? So I spend 3 days looking for Boston College. Then I realize, again, we're not at the dance. And then I do my brackets. I will have it done
I'm still looking for UNC, the pool with UNC in it.
So games start tomorrow at 12? Yes?
Yep.
High noon?
Yeah, pools have to be filled out. Brackets have to be filled out and turned in by noon.
All right. Yep. Okay. I will get her done tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Did you see the? I don't know if anyone has YouTube TV. 12:15 is the first one. Okay. If you have YouTube TV, they're offering to some folks a bracketed view. Like you could do like a Foursquare basically when there's
super cool
happening. And
super
I'm
cool.
hoping I'm one of those people. I don't know if I am, but if I am, hope my boss isn't listening. I'll be watching.
It's going to be fun. Yeah, you realize that and it's been a few years now, but the lack of production for the next couple of weeks for people that work at home is going to be exponential.
Yeah. To tomorrow, like the last, basically Thursday through Sunday, it's just, it's kind of heaven. And then you do it again a little bit, but it's not as drastic next week. But it's amazing. And then you also have the Valspar starting up tomorrow too. So, but that's golf.
You guys are way more educated when it comes to the college hoop game. Okay. So Scotty's way more educated. Rubbish is like, no, I'm just throwing darts at the board here. I mean, he's looking for UNC. I'm looking for BC. We'll be back after this break. So Scotty,
I stopped following once North Carolina fell out of the top 25. I stopped watching.
It was a rough season for them. They even declined the NIT.
God. So who do you have taking who gets into the Final Four for you? And have any upsets this weekend?
We gotta wait till after tomorrow at noon to divulge these answers.
Right. I do have. So I actually my champion is an upset. My champion is an upset, and the reason why my champion is an upset is because they get picked every year when they're like a 1 or a 2 seed, and they never do it. They never win. I took the.
I think I can figure it out.
What do you got?
Who's that?
I said I think I can figure it out.
Do you know who it is?
I'm not going to say it.
Do you want me to say it? I don't care.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's Gonzaga.
Gonzaga?
Yep.
Yeah, you got Gonzaga winning the whole thing.
I have Gonzaga beating Houston, and Alabama beating Kentucky, and then Alabama losing to Gonzaga. That's what I have. I have Alabama, Kentucky, Houston, Gonzaga. That's my Final Four.
All right.
So, Kentucky's a 6 seed, so there'll be definitely some upsets on the way there. I almost had a couple of teams to watch out for. Xavier's a really good team this year. TCU, actually, which Gonzaga would have to go through, they're really good this year. And there's a couple others that, there are some like the lower level schools. USB is one of them. I think they play Baylor off the top of my head. I have looked at brackets a bunch of times, but I can't remember all of them. But anyway, there's a couple of them that are out there that have some good upsets. Charleston over San Diego State is another one that might happen. And then I've got some like 10s over 7s, like Utah State over Missouri, stuff like that. But nothing. I don't have anything. Well, outside of Gonzaga, which is a 3 seed, so it's not like a massive upset. So it's not huge. But Alabama, though, Alabama's.
I think I have Duke losing in the second round.
No, Jesus, do you really? I hate Duke too, but I don't have them losing. I got them getting through to
maybe the third, but I think I had them lose at least one of them. I have the family pool and I have our pool. I think one of them I did them second round, just because I hate them so much.
Yeah, I'm not a Duke fan either.
Do you have a money in pool at the Corey household?
Ooh, yes. Or is it like favors and stuff?
I mean, you guys, if you want to get in it, it's not.
I have no desire to lose money on college basketball. Nope.
It's $20 entry fee.
I'm gonna. God bless my wife. She's dorky enough. I'll have her bring up a flow chart of all the uniforms. I might go logos and colors, baby. She's gonna go with it. Yep.
Boats and hose.
The fashion Final Four. Who wore it best? Yep.
That's amazing.
Who wore it best? I gotta say, and I know off track a little bit, but also important because we've all got kids that are either just past that, and Scotty's kids are coming up. Not that my boys, Cameron's playing Special Olympics basketball, They have less threes at the buzzer. There's been an inordinate amount of last-second wins here in New England, certainly in New Hampshire. Kennett was playing against, I'm going to get the school wrong, God help me. I think Kennett was playing against Oyster River. Kennett's up in North Conway. And they were playing against Oyster River. The girl setting up to shoot, she gets fouled, goes to the line. First one to tie, second shot to win. No time left on the clock. Like, amazing. Nice. And the girl, all
Did
the
she
pressure.
Grant Williams it?
All the nope, she didn't mouth off. She stood. She shot. She made both shots. So much pressure on a high school senior, right? For state, oh, yeah. and she drains both. And there's a great shot. One of the girls at the office, her daughter's on the team, and there's a great shot of the coach losing his marbles. And it's when I forget the girl's name. The blonde girl drains the second one. She's turning around to react with her team. So she's turning around with, like, I just can't believe that happened. The other person's, Julie's daughter's freaking out, and the coach in the background's, like, lighting himself on fire. Awesome. Super cool. Just super cool to watch, like, to see.
Well, did you see the other team?
Because there were a couple of years where they got smoked out of this, right? I'm thinking about Aiden's freshman year. There were no sports because everybody was just home staring at the wall. So it's cool to see these kids playing with no masks on. And I mean, no judgment in that statement, but just like playing sports. Because Aiden was playing. Dude, my boy's playing lacrosse outdoors with his mask on, under his helmet.
That's crazy.
Anyway, I'd like to vote on that again. But anyway, there. I got my look. Adam thinks I'm sneaking these in because he's not here. I'm not. I just it went there, so I took it there. I'll wander down the path. Anywho, where are we going now?
Did they make high school kids wear masks when they were playing golf too?
They weren't. Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
Why lacrosse?
It's remarkable, right? Yeah. I'll have to check with Aiden. I don't feel like they were wearing masks, but I'll have to check with Aiden. Yeah. Seems like a lifetime ago. Thank goodness. Yeah. How's your muesli bar that you're wasting away on over there, Scotty? How you doing? You all right?
So that was breakfast. I've only had a
He's been licking the wrapper for 12 hours.
I just haven't thrown. Yeah, I've been sitting at this desk for too long. Other than the fact I have to pee every 10 seconds. But I'm drinking like this weird situation here, and I don't know. I have.
We've already had this conversation, right? The circle bottle. With the flavor bullet.
Oh.
What? So this it's called Circle, and the not a sponsor yet. They really don't need to now. They're about to get a free ad. And this thing, which is very disturbing.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so that thing has flavor and is also sort of like your carbon filter as well. So this one is citrus, and then you can go to the top, and you can pick the number that you want. Three's perfect. But if you put it on 10, it comes out like Kool-Aid. You put it on 3, you're getting a hint of water. The problem is, I hope the engineer's over there. Oh God, is he got to leave? Uh-oh. I love all of this.
There's a cat.
No. They're getting everybody's order for burgers and tots. So it's not great if you're in a meeting. There's a lot of sucking that goes on.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. And then once the water gets beyond that little flavor pod, it drips back in.
Wow.
So the water that gets collected in the pod drips back. It's not aesthetically pleasing. And I'm clearly not sold on it because I filled this one last week. What I do have though, Scotty, since you asked, I'm so glad you asked. This catastrophe that I know I've shown you guys, the big, huge one.
Yes.
And it's got all the things on the side, like you're not drinking enough water, stupid. I literally fill this in the morning and then keep filling my other things. Because,
gotta drink.
Zoom calls. Yeah. But anyway.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Gotta stay hydrated. Gotta do it.
So what's going on with our winter teams right now? They're kind of falling down a little bit. I mean, the Bruins are going to be fine, but the Celtics and Bruins, they both have lost a couple of games here.
One of us jinxed them, so we'll discuss that.
The Bruins lost 3 of their last 4.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's like, and then you get the Celtics.
Some bumps in the road.
Well, I think it's because Steph and I bought tickets to go see the Bruins, so they started losing after we did that.
When are you going?
Next Tuesday.
Who are they playing?
Ottawa.
Oh, who knows what's going to happen, right? Yeah. That could be a horrible loss. It really could.
Yeah. That was a great reaction there.
Oh, yeah.
That was just a great reaction.
But yeah, it's so strange. So first I looked to go see Edmonton, to see Connor McDavid. Lowest price ticket to that game was $250 for like back row balcony.
Yeah, your back's up against the wall. Sure.
So we
in the middle, sitting in the middle, back row up against the wall in the middle. Yep.
Yeah. Second or third row balcony for the Ottawa game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like half the price.
That's crazy.
It's just horrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to having good sports teams.
They
don't even have to be that good. They just
Post game last night.
Look at the Red Sox.
Post game last night, they were asking Montgomery what his feelings were, just in general, and he talked about the energy and the communication has never been this bad. Like that. That's where his head was at. So I don't hate that he verbalized that, and I'm sort of thrilled where this bump in the road is taking place because, the fastest to 50 wins, all this stuff. The bubble could pop at the wrong time, and I know I'm not saying anything that we haven't discussed before, but I'll take it right now. I'll let them fix it right now. And I think that also, are they? They just folded in 3 new people? Is it 3?
Well, yeah. So
over the last couple of weeks,
they have, and that's the thing. So with the forwards, they lost Foligno, they lost Taylor Hall. They have two new guys in those spots. They have Hathaway and Bertuzzi. So they've been moving Bertuzzi around. Like Hathaway is definitely a fourth liner. Bertuzzi, they've been moving him around, trying to see where he's going to fit. Moving him. So I think there's still a feeling out process with that. And then the defense, the bottom 3 defensemen are rotating out. So like Grzelcyk will sit one night, Connor Clifton will sit one night, Carlo's going to sit one night, and Forbor. So four. So Orlov, McAvoy, and Lindholm are all playing. The other ones are rotating out. So I don't know if it hurts, the chemistry of the team by doing that. It's like, you had a good thing going, everyone's friends, and now your buddies, not playing because you got these new guys in, And then when Foligno and Taylor Hall come back, what happens with the forward situation?
I know they're just tired. Like, on top of all that, I know it's only just after halfway through the season, but that
definitely,
the pressure of what they're doing, they're hearing about it all the time. It comes up in every conversation. And then above and beyond that,
had to bring me back in.
What?
The freaking schedule makers. They go from.
I didn't say a thing, Scotty. Go ahead though.
They play Saturday, and then they don't play again until Thursday. But then they play Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday. Why play 3 games a week? Spread them out. 3 games in 7 days. How hard is it? Pay me, I'll do it.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Same with basketball. It's like,
can you see him calling?
Why do you have to have back-to-back night, especially back-to-back in 2 separate cities? It's like you have one team sitting, waiting for the other team to show up in a city that the other team played the night before. That's what, like, a lot with basketball. You have some of these losses. You can't really judge it because one, they have. The last time the Celtics went to Milwaukee, Jason Tatum didn't even make the flight. I think it was Horford and Williams. Those 3 guys didn't even go to Milwaukee because they were playing the next day back in Boston.
Scotty, can you see Rubber Shoes on a conference call with Adam Silver and Gary Bettman saying, "Listen, guys, I'm going to be at the Firehouse that night. Could we move right? Just moving games around." Oh my God.
It is crazy. Honestly, though, it's funny, too, because hockey starts before basketball, but ends after. which is wild to me, because then I also think basketball is really long anyway.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
you know, basketball still goes until like April 9th or 10th or something like that. So it's still got a ways to go. But, and I know it's a short flight. Like for your example, like they play Portland and then they go right then. Once they're done with Portland, they go play Utah the next night. And that's a super short flight. It's not like very far. And I get it. They're obviously going to be fine. But from a Celtics perspective, I mean, they need to just worry about who the hell if they're actually going to show up and play defense. I think is really, not worry about your friggin' flight and, just show up and play defense, because you just lost to Houston, which is one of the worst teams in basketball.
That's the thing. They've had a lot of bad losses to Orlando Magic, to Houston, to OKC, and it seems like those teams, they're playing against teams that are pretty much young, and they're trying to prove something. They're got more energy, and Celtics just like, you know what, they play good for a quarter or so, and you're like, yeah, I don't feel like giving 48 minutes tonight. I don't want to play defense for the whole 48. And that's what seems what kind of happens is they're not going to put the full effort in for the whole game.
It's been one of those things where I feel like they feed off a lot of energy from like the beginning of the game, and if they don't have it to start with, they have a hard time kind of pulling back in and like turning it on, And I think right now, especially if it's like the dog days of the basketball season or whatever, that they're lacking that like killer instinct and lacking that like killer adjustment at the end of the game that Udoka would do or whatever. I mean, I don't want to put all this on Mazzulla, but I don't think he's really helping. I don't know if he's not doing much right now. I still think, and I think I said this when it happened, like they may have jumped the gun on him on giving him that extension already. But it's time will tell, I suppose. But right now, he's not really making many adjustments. He's not really making any changes especially when they start to get into trouble. He needs to get in some people's asses, man. Like he needs to start yelling at people and start giving yes, you have stars that have been there before, but they're still young and they still need to listen to you, and you still need to, kind of get on them a little bit because they're not, they're calling plays themselves and they're kind of doing their own thing. And I feel like they're lacking that, again, that like killer instinct. I mean, granted, they've lost 5 out of 8, right? It's not the end of the world. There's still 2 games up on Philly, for this 2 seed, but they're losing to Billy's point. They're losing to teams that not only should they should beat them handily. You know what I mean? And they have the depth to beat them handily. And it wasn't even like, oh, Brown was hurt or, Tatum was out or Horford was out. No. We were at full strength. We had everybody. They partied too hard in Houston or something the night before. H-Town's big, man. It's a good time. It's a good time down there. Everyone has a good time in H-Town. A little too many cocktails.
So one worry I have with Mazzulla is he afraid to take Marcus out at the end of the game and put in Derek White? Because he kept him in against the Knicks and he didn't play well. And one of the questions after the game was, why didn't you put Derek White back in? Because he was having a good game and stopping whoever. And he's like, yeah, I made a mistake with that. But is he going to learn from that mistake and not do it next time and be able to tell Marcus, hey, I know you think you're the number one guy on this team, but you're not. And Derek White's playing better than you, and we're going to put him in crunch time. And I'm curious to see if he's going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
There was a timeout the other night, and just interesting to sit. They all sat down. Mazzulla grabs a chair. He pulls up and in. He's got the whiteboard, and he starts drawing something up. And at no point was JT looking down at the whiteboard, and this is all my perception, I felt like he wasn't listening. JT was, honest to God, if me looking down at the logo on the bottom of my monitor was me looking at the whiteboard and nodding and watching him drop the play, he just went like this. He was like looking at Mazzulla like, is this really my life? That's the look that I felt he had on it. Like, is this really happening right now? Is this guy actually drawing up a play right now? Right. And I don't, like, in that moment, I'm just like, yeah, he's not in on this. I don't think, and I don't think that's keeping him from performing. I think he's still capable of having a bad night. We saw it happen. Like we just said, we have enough talent around him that he should be able to have a bad night against a shitty team without Jalen Brunson and still win. Was that his night that he was off? We were against the Knicks and Jalen Brunson was on the bench and we still lost. Was that the game?
Yeah.
I mean, those kind of things, those things shouldn't ever happen. But the look on his face, he was not looking down. He was not nodding. He was not buying. He wasn't even watching right at the play. He was could have been listening, but the look on his face was like, "Dear God, this is who's driving right now." Like I don't think he's bought in on this or feels like. And I think there might be, and I think everybody. This happens to anybody in any role with any company. When you get a promotion, you got a promotion based on your ability to do maybe the job, and then they're like, now you're going to run the department or whatever the case may be. And I think when you get into those positions, you always take on a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like, yeah, I gotta sort of. Oh, I love speaking of. Oh, we're gonna get a cat ass trophy. Yes, there it is, cat ass trophy. As I'm discussing Missoula, the cat's ass.
Yep.
Showed up as a trophy.
As a show
yep.
up.
Anyway, I love that. The cat, welcome to the show. What's the cat's name?
Anna.
That's Anna. Anna, welcome to the show. Best part of the segment. So, like, I think there might be a piece of him too, and he's that walking that fine line that he, being an assistant coach, probably trying to get better relationships with the players, and now moving into this head coaching. Well, I don't think he's moved to the, and you could argue this with all NBA coaches because the players run the league. I get that. But he needs to assume at least second in command. You're not going to be the alpha. The alpha is JT. And maybe there's some confusion around that too, right? But I mean, the alpha is JT, but he has to Scotty's point. You got to, it's almost like when you take over, you almost have to fire somebody to get everybody's attention. I don't know if he's grabbed the attention of the crowd. And that look on his face during that timeout the other night, I'm like, oh, he's not in. He's not in on this. There's no buy-in from JT, or there's very little.
It stinks that that Stoudemire is leaving too. Like, I'm happy for him because I think he's a good coach, and but I think that he was very well liked by the players, and the players listened to him. And I think him leaving makes Missoula's voice probably less heard, almost, right? And I think the thing is about Ime like commanded their respect. Like I think he turned things around because he started to be more vocal with them. And I think that's something that Missoula's just not that type of guy. He's over there chewing his gum. That's what he's doing. And it's a different way. And I think
it's the Pete Carroll of the NBA.
Right?
No, I mean, honestly, I just said that, and it actually makes sense because Pete Carroll is not, they've always said how he's not Belichick, and he is a player's coach, right? And I just don't think he assumed the role of somebody who, to your point, wanted things to be run very differently. And he's stepping into a crowd that had just adjusted to Ime, and now he's trying to be, I'm not saying he's trying to be their friend, but I don't know. I think he had an opportunity to come in and take over and set the rules. And then maybe now, because they have put that stamp on him, the players are like, really? Like, that was sort of the look I saw on JT's face the other night. Like, I can't believe we extended this guy. And I'm sure I'm probably wrong. JT watches every week. I'm sure he'll call me tonight. But, like, in the grand scheme of things, I don't know. And I don't know if this gets us. I mean, my prediction stands. I said this before the season started. We lose to Phoenix in 7. But you guys said last week or within the last couple of weeks, if he gets us to a final, you think he's good. If he doesn't get us to a final, it's no good. He doesn't last. They ship him out.
Who's that? Missoula?
Missoula, yeah. He has to go to an NBA final to prove himself, do you think?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't.
okay.
I don't think so.
That might have been
Did I
Adam.
say that last week?
Might have been Adam. I don't know. You're also good looking. I lose track. Keep going.
But I don't think he needs to get to the NBA Finals to keep his job. I really don't.
Okay.
I mean, they've already extended him, and I think that let's say, all right, how about this? If he loses in the first round, there's going to be some serious doubt. I don't know if they fire him right away, but there's going to be some massive doubt, clouding into ownership's mind, and Wick Grossbeck's going to be like, did we really make the right decision? We just got knocked out by, Toronto, whoever, what the play-in is going to end up being, right? But if that happens, I think this team is good enough to win the championship this year. I do. And I think it's going to come down to how healthy and how much they're going to, like to Billy's point earlier, how much they're going to want it for 48 minutes. Because even in the playoffs last year, you even saw there were times where they looked like they didn't give that effort, and because hey, this is only game 2, we still have more time or whatever, you know what I mean? So I don't know. There's still some time for them to kind of turn this around. I think last week that this was going to be a tough road trip, and I still kind of stand by that. I still think it is. Like, it's not hard from like a perspective of record, but from like what their energy is going to be like. And so far, their energy hasn't been great. They play Minnesota tonight. Minnesota is, not much better than Houston. They should beat them. Obviously, with Anthony Edwards, is a great player, but no Karl Anthony Towns. You know what I mean? They should beat this basketball team tonight. And then they finish up the road trip against Portland, Utah, and Sacramento. And Sacramento's second best team in the West. Portland and Utah, those should be wins, and then Sacramento should be a great game. I still think they can beat them, but yeah. So, we'll see. We'll see how the rest of it irons out. You're getting down, right? Get down. Yes, get down. Still here.
I don't know if that's Anna or Ava. So like that.
Yeah, no. Ava's still gymnastics. She's still.
She's gonna come hurdling in soon. Soon though, right? Yeah.
Yeah, around 6. Yeah, she gets home around 6. Yep.
Yes, our executive producer.
Yeah, if she could only bring me like a cheeseburger or something. I'm so hungry. So hungry.
Would you like to send a text to your wife to make sure that happens?
No, it can't happen. I got to finish this cleanse.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
go 5 days. I got 2 more days.
I completely had an out of body experience there. I was trying to get you a cheeseburger. We're busy eating muesli bars and drinking water. Yep. Yeah, and I support you on that. Yes. Somebody walked into my office today and I was eating cherry tomatoes and cottage cheese. I'm like, you all right? I'm like, if it's this, or I'm going down the hallway and I'm arguing with the snack machine in the little tiny. You've been to the building. You both have. That's not even there anymore.
Well,
so if I'm not bringing something in here, it's gonna go horribly wrong. So it was cottage cheese and cherry tomatoes today, which
that's just good.
What I realized
more than what I've eaten today.
You boys will love this. What I realized is and I said this to Zoe, and Zoe's like, "What? My cottage cheese didn't have enough pepper." She's like, "Pepper?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." So my mom, side story, which you'll love. My mom, when we were younger, and I forget what year this was, Cheryl got sick with something, and it wasn't COVID. It might have been. Maybe it was 1983 COVID. I'm not sure. She got sick with something, and it knocked out her sense of smell and taste. She had to zinc back in to smell and taste. So there was a window in the Lindsay household where Cheryl was, I'm going to say peppering. I'm using my spirit fingers. Where's my other set of hands? God almighty. I'm like out of frame here, on the struggle bus. She was over peppering everything. So now to me, like, unless like the whole shaker is in, like I can't even taste it because I've been trained for that now. So pepper on cottage cheese. If you're a cottage cheese person and you think that's crazy, I think it's awesome. You should try it. It's amazeballs. But yeah, that's where we were. And then of course this thing with the flavored tampon in it, which is not aesthetically pleasing. But
I don't know if they could be a sponsor now. You call it a flavored tampon.
Well, it is what it is. Listen, Circle's fine. Circle, they're doing fine. Everybody's buying them. I don't know if I love it. Yeah, flavored water needs to be cold. There, I said it.
I agree with that.
And flavored smart water is terrible. Regular smart water, rubber shoes is great. Flavored smart water is terrible. Terrible.
I would agree with that too. I don't like smart water.
Amen, sister. Yeah. Where are we going? We're going to the Red Sox. I got a text out of left field from Rubber Shoes that Whitlock's were in 22, which I think I saw him on the mound earlier, and I saw that because I wasn't sure who was going to be wearing that. They throttled them today.
Yes.
9-1 the last time I looked up, I think.
They haven't had a good last 5. I think they've lost 5 of their last 6. And the one they didn't lose was a tie.
Uh-oh. What timing.
It's amazing. It's so amazing. Have you watched any of the World Baseball Classic at all?
I've been jumping in and out, yes.
Yeah.
Did you see the kid from Nicaragua that got the deal?
I'm sorry?
Pitcher from Nicaragua struck out 3 MLB players in a row, and he got a deal signed after the game. Yeah, super cool.
I saw that.
Super
awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Nope.
Yeah, I think they're he was like was he 16 or 19? I know he was
Unbelievable.
Young. Yeah.
It's
Who
awesome,
offered him the deal?
Arizona? Was it
Was it?
Arizona? That was a Diamondbacks or something like that. I thought maybe.
I feel like if the Diamondbacks made me an offer, I'll be like, I'm going to wait. Actually, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait this one out. This is a terrible franchise. Just really. They really are.
Are we in like pool play now? Where the hell are we? How does this work?
So it's
clearly I'm paying attention.
One of the ones playing over in Japan and Taiwan. They are playing the quarterfinals today. So Cuba beat Australia, so they're in the semifinals. There's another game tonight. There's a game going on right now that's Mexico and Canada. This is pool play, but the winner goes to the quarterfinals. And then if the U.S. wins tonight, they go to the quarterfinals. If they lose, Canada still has a shot. But let's just have U.S. win. And Ohtani hit a freaking bomb the other night. It hit off the – so if you're at Fenway Park, it probably was out to Ted Williams' seat. How far he hit it. Yeah, it was a bomb.
I have to look that up. Yeah, I've watched some of the highlights, but I haven't really watched it. I mean, the games are at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, they're either like at 5 in the morning or 10 at night. So actually, this game was 2 games on during the day today. The Cuba game was earlier, and then this game right now. And then I think there's a game on at 7, maybe 7 or 8. The U.S. is playing.
No, USA plays at 10 tonight against Colombia. Yeah, against Colombia.
They're all migrating to Miami, I believe.
They're still USA is still in Phoenix, I think, for tonight's game.
Yeah,
and then I don't know.
How do they view that from an MLB standpoint? Like I know it's one big mess and it feeds the beast. And when we would always get worked up when we would see Tommy Brady jumping off a cliff in South America. We're like, that's probably not in your contract, dude. Like, so when, I saw Trout the other night and a few other people, when they go and play in this, if they get injured, is that outside of their contract? Do they void guarantees and all that like that? Like, and I know, like, how does it play with their Major League Baseball contracts for them to elect to go play in this?
I think they give them the blessing to do it.
Okay.
So Freddie Freeman actually he's out of it now because he pulled his hamstring the other day, so he's not playing anymore. But I think they get it's kind of in conjunction with the other game that was I think that's a 7 is Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. It's a huge game.
That'll be huge.
Winner moves on, losers out. But it's not the quarterfinals yet, but it's still pool play. The winner gets in, the loser is out of the quarterfinals. So that's a huge game, and it's 2 islands that really I don't know if they're friendly with each other. They say they are half the time, but if you accidentally call one the other, they really don't like it.
Yeah.
I know from experience.
I think it's like the same kind of thing of like professional athletes playing in like the Olympics, right? Like think of like the dream teams.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? Like I'm sure that's their similarity, where there's got to be some kind of clause or something like that within their contracts that allows them to play without losing money. It'd be terrible if someone blew an ACL in this thing. Knock on wood, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, you just jinxed us, but okay, so that's fine.
I totally did.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Yeah. So
Kike gets hit in the batter's box. His head falls off. It's all your fault.
Who's that?
Kike gets hit in the batter's box. His head falls off. It's all your fault. Because he's currently, is he short or second for us right now? He's second.
Shortstop. He's our shortstop. Christian Arroyo's playing second.
Oh yeah, because I was thinking Story, but Story's on the Story's on the mash. He's in the mash unit. I forgot about that.
Story's not going to play this year. Let's be honest.
Yes, you're right. I completely see. I completely forgot about that.
Hopeful he can make it back like in August, but the first things that came out is that he's done for the year.
Yeah.
He's missed more time than he's played.
So Corey Kluber played started today. He's going to be the opening day starter for the Sox. Chris Sale has looked good. The few starts he did, a couple of the question marks coming into the season have looked decent during spring training. So I'm very hopeful.
Yeah,
I just
a few
love
weeks ago you were screaming,
so much.
they've already ruined my summer. Now you're back on. Like, have you guys ordered tickets yet? Did you guys order tickets yet?
Nope, I have not yet.
It's coming. I can feel it.
Because my other half is really fighting against it because she's so pissed off at the Red Sox. So.
God bless her. I love the anger.
As long as we don't buy. What happens now is that you don't get sellouts like they used to. Now you can actually. It's like, oh, it's going to be a nice 80-degree day this Saturday. You want to go to the Sox? It's a lot easier to do it that way instead of you buy tickets as Scotty does 4 months ahead and then you go and it gets rained out. You drive all the way down from Maine and it gets rained out. Yeah.
That didn't happen last year.
It backfired once on us because we were like, oh yeah, it's gonna be good, and it was just like passing thunderstorms going through, and they ended up calling the game off. They postponed it to the next day, which we just so happened to have the next day off. They postponed it for a day game, and we had it off. That was when we a couple of years ago when we went to the Patriots training camp in the morning, and we went to the Red Sox in the afternoon. So it turned out all right. But for the most part, we can check the weather. It's going to be nice, and get decent tickets and enjoy the day. She's looking forward to next Tuesday. Bruins are number one on her list.
Yeah, I love that she's not excited about the Red Sox. So do you now, are you confident at this point that they're going to do something special?
Who?
Red Sox.
You saw
the playoffs.
You saw the bet I made, right?
Oh, you put him for the World Series. You're going whole hog.
Oh, yeah, I told him. Figured it was I put like $5 down, and if they do it, I win like 300 or something like that.
Yes, I think the total was $300. Actually, that was a handful of years ago. One of the kids from the neighborhood, PJ, his older brother Davey, was in Vegas and put a decent amount down. I forget what it was, and this is back when just the long shot was the Marlins when they still had what's his face, who ended up coming to the Red Sox afterwards. But he put the money down on
Josh Beckett.
Thank you. That was the year they won with Josh, and he put the money down on the Marlins, and he cleaned up. Like, I want to say 2 numbers in front of the comma. Yeah, not bad at all. Yeah,
I know that my brother put money down on the Sox in 2004 when they won.
Wow.
So I don't know how much he won, but he did. He had to go back to Vegas to cash it in, I think.
So you
that's
showed
when you had to actually go in person and make bets.
Yeah. So all of that actually with online betting, all of that's straightened out now. You can do that from your house now. You're good.
Oh yeah.
And look at it. Listen to him. Oh yeah. He's on eBay selling Funko Pops so he can gamble. So what is your like Scotty? If you place a bet, are you using FanDuel or DraftKings?
We can't do that in Maine, but if I do it, it's DraftKings. Yeah.
DraftKings. What are you using?
Yeah, we can only smoke weed in Maine. We can't.
I know. I
had always used DraftKings, but for some reason I can't. I have been getting an error. I've deleted it off, put it back on, and I can't get onto DraftKings. So I am only using FanDuel right now.
Interesting.
And it was so they had a lot of incentive things the first weekend, like if the Celtics score 1 point tonight, you can double your money up to $100 you can put down. But it's not actually it's credits. You're getting credits to bet again. It's not you're not getting money. Like you can't place $100 bet, win the 200 and then cash it in. You only can cash your 100 back in. But so I've bumped up my credits the last week.
The commercial for DraftKings they're running right now, it shows Lenny Clark marching down the street.
Oh yeah.
And he walks past. He walks past Chara. I didn't realize Todd Angeli's there too. The bartender from the third floor that does the national anthem.
Yeah,
is standing right next to him. And then it's just
Big
funny
Poppy's
how
in it.
Yeah, Big Poppy's in it. And it's funny how like they're splitting camps. Like even on the morning show that I listen to, you've got the host who is FanDuel and the co-host, and she's talking about DraftKings. Like they go into a morning show and they're making deals with just individuals.
Oh yeah,
which it's incredible how many people they're giving money to talk about it. I don't know how long that's going to last. Like
shows you how much money they're
getting made.
Like they're giving all these boosts to you.
Oh yeah.
Like giving away money. Well, not money, but giving away extra
credits.
You know, they're just luring you into.
Yes.
Like, oh, we'll get them to lose it all plus
yes,
more.
Exactly. Yes. Whatever you put down, double it.
So,
okay.
I was watching the NASCAR race on Sunday, and I'm not a big gambler. Like I'll put $5 on something and a lot of times I'll do the parlays, like do a $2 parlay that will cash in for like $800 just for a chance. But I'm not putting down, triple digits on anything.
The most I've ever done, honest to God, on any of those apps is $22. I will not bet more than that. Like I just I'm not the $100. Like, oh no, $500. It's fun. It makes it more exciting. No, it doesn't.
No.
No, it doesn't.
No, it might be fun if you win, but it is definitely not fun if you lose.
Well, and this is a really funny conversation that came up as well. I find it fascinating that, especially on the radio, you hear it all the time, and you'll see the disclaimer when they run the TV ads, because right now Kevin Hart's everywhere doing DraftKings. Yeah. And the disclaimer at the very end is, if you have a gambling problem, right? And, well, there's like 5 points, but I'm going to start with the first two. If I had a gambling problem, I'm still using my bookie. I'm probably not going on DraftKings. Let's start there. They don't need, that disclaimer never comes up after I see a Tullamore Dew ad or a Woodford ad or a Bud Light ad, right? Because that's just an accepted vice in our country. But there's still this taboo. And I know this is them having to dot I's and cross T's and play by the rules, because the whole country's, not everybody's all in on this, but everybody's all in on this. It's pretty super cool. You can place a bet 2 seconds before the game starts from your phone, from your couch.
Or live in-game bets.
Yeah, the prop bets continue all the way through, and you can place a last-minute bet, then the VIGs more, all that kind of stuff. It's fascinating that they still have to say, if you have a gambling problem, after every one of these ads. And I don't besmirch them for doing that, but like, you're running Scotch ads back to back to back.
But I bet you on those. Okay.
Yep.
I think on the alcohol ads, they probably, in the fine print underneath, very small print on the bottom of the screen, I bet you it says, if you have a problem,
everybody's too shit-faced to get off the couch and read the small print.
Yeah. I'm sure they make them do that too.
Scotty's like, I'm going to save my energy. I'll get one more muesli bar today. I'm not leaving the couch.
I get a soup.
I'm exhausted. I got bone broth later today.
That's pretty much it. I'm looking forward to this Monday, though, so I'll be off this fast and be able to enjoy the restaurant that we're going to after show number 100. Man, it's going to be awesome.
Oh, yes. We're heading over to the Veeds on Monday night. Yeah, so the show will be live in Studio T here in Portsmouth on Monday, whenever we get started. We're aiming for 5-ish. And then, we're heading over to Vita Cantina for... I will be certainly eating the calories. I will not be drinking. I'm still in the midst of Lent. Although I know you've been there, right? Rubber Shoes, have you been to Vita yet?
Yep. I don't think so.
Okay. Scotty's been. Rubber Shoes has not been. Adam has not been. So we got two Wiley veterans and 2 freshmen going. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor. Phenomenal food, Vita Cantina. Phenomenal food. You got people in the building now? What's happening?
I don't know what's happening.
Why? What's going on?
You can't hear that? Here she comes. You can't hear.
Ava's coming in. He's also getting a call. It's probably time to put a bow on it. Oh, you're not going to. What is happening? Oh, I love that.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Yes.
Okay, well, don't work. We're on a podcast here. You want to say hi? Here, bro, pause that and just say hi. Come here. Just ready? There you go.
We have 3 minutes. So, Abe, a question for you. In 3 more minutes, are the Patriots going to get at 6:08? Do the Patriots get Lamar Jackson? Yes or no?
Yes.
I love it.
Oh.
From your lips to God's ears, and hopefully Bill Belichick's ledger and Bobby Kraft's checkbook.
Nope, we're not doing that.
Perfect. We will see you guys on Monday night. We appreciate you checking out the show. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Rubber Shoes will be back at it first thing in the morning talking about Lamar Jackson joining the Patriots. We're putting the energy and the juju out there, pun intended. Welcome Juju Smith-Schuster to the team as well. And we'll see you in and around the internet at atbshow.com.
Bye.
Monday night for the 100th episode. We'll see you then. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.